The warship known as VINDICATOR slowly moved across the stars. It had left orbit over Drenor 4 and was now heading straight for Zereth Prime, the heart of the Galactic Council. No one tried to stop it. Not after what happened to the patrol ships. Not after the message. Not after the energy pulse that shut down every satellite in orbit without firing a single weapon. Panic had already begun to spread across the galaxy. On Zereth Prime, the Council called an emergency meeting. Thousands of alien leaders, generals, and scientists filled the great chamber. Fear was in every eye. The Supreme Speaker, Veltor, stood in the center. His voice shook as he spoke. Is there any way to stop this ship? The answer was silence. Finally, Admiral Voss spoke. No weapon we have can touch it. No signal can jam it. Even our most advanced AI systems can't understand its code. It is not just a ship. It is something else. What does it want? Someone asked. Voss looked around the room. It doesn't want peace. It doesn't want land. It wants us to remember Earth and to pay for what we did. The room went cold. The fear wasn't just from the ship. It came from the guilt, from the memories, from the truth that everyone had buried for centuries. 300 years ago, the Council had broken every law to destroy Earth. They had erased human history, burned human libraries, hunted down human survivors, all because they were afraid. Afraid of how fast humans could adapt. Afraid of how hard they fought. Afraid of how far they would go to win. But now, Earth had returned, and it had not forgotten. Across the galaxy, chaos was growing. On the planet Korthax, civilians rushed to leave cities. Spaceports were full. Tickets off-world sold for millions. On Mezar Prime, riots broke out. People blamed the government for joining the war against Earth so long ago. On hidden channels, rebels and hackers began praising the VINDICATOR. They called it the shadow of Earth. They said it had come to punish the powerful. Even on peaceful worlds, people began to ask dangerous questions. Did humans really deserve what was done to them? Were they monsters, or just misunderstood? What if we were wrong? For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was no longer sure who the villain was. Meanwhile, the VINDICATOR sent no more messages. It just kept moving. Silent. Slow. Unstoppable. Every system it passed went dark. Satellites shut down. Scanners failed. Communications dropped. No violence. No destruction. Only fear. It was psychological warfare, something humans had always been good at. The galaxy was beginning to break without a single shot fired. In a hidden lab deep beneath Zereth Prime, a group of scientists worked day and night. Their mission: find the warship's weakness. Dr. Malin, a young tech analyst, made a shocking discovery. Look at this, she said, pointing to the ship's strange code. It's not just human. It's evolving. Learning every time we try to hack it. It's like it knows we're watching. Then how do we beat it? A military officer asked. Dr. Malin didn't answer. Because deep inside, she wasn't sure it could be beaten. Meanwhile, in the darkest corners of the galaxy, something even more surprising was happening. A group of humans, real, living humans, were spotted on the old moon of Elron 5. A merchant ship saw them before it jumped to warp. It sent out a warning. They're back. Humans are alive. And they're not hiding anymore. The Council quickly sent a fleet to Elron 5, but the humans were already gone. They had left a message behind, burned into the ground. We were never extinct. We were preparing. Now the fear was complete. The ship was not alone. Earth had returned, not as a single warship, but as a movement. Back in the Council chambers, alarms began to ring. A scout ship had tried to follow the VINDICATOR. It had disappeared. Not destroyed. Taken. The last signal from the scout ship showed it being pulled into a hangar inside the warship. No weapons. No shields. Just absorbed. Why? Was the ship collecting technology? Or something worse? Veltor asked the question everyone was afraid to speak. What if the warship is not just a weapon, but a seed, a beginning? No one answered. Because now, the fear had changed. At first, they feared revenge. Now, they feared rebirth. And so, across the stars, one truth echoed. The galaxy thought Earth was dead, but Earth was only sleeping. And now, it was waking up, with fire in its heart. The real war had not begun. It was only just arriving. The alien fleets were running. The Xarn Empire was in shock. But the Obliterator stayed quiet. It drifted through space like a ghost, calm and slow, after destroying an entire defense station. Most alien ships would celebrate after such a victory. But inside the Obliterator, there was no cheering. Only silence. Captain Elias Reyes stood on the command deck. Around him, lights blinked softly. No noise, no chaos, just control. His voice was steady. Status. Athena, the ship's AI, replied smoothly. All systems green. Weapons fully charged. Cloaking active. No damage. Reyes nodded. Good. Begin silent drift. Observe enemy channels. Athena spoke again. Alien communications show fear. The Tarn are calling for backup. Other empires are listening. Reyes didn't smile. He had seen war. He knew fear was just the beginning. He turned and walked through the long central hallway of the ship. Walls were black metal, but smooth and clean. Soft lights followed his steps. He passed crew members in dark uniforms. Each one was focused, calm, and ready. No one spoke unless needed. This was not just a warship. This was humanity's final card. Inside the core, deep in the heart of the ship, was a giant chamber, the core room. It held the engine that made the Obliterator special, the dark core. It was a sphere, spinning slowly, with black lightning running across its surface. No other ship in the galaxy had this. It used dark energy, pulled from collapsed stars. Earth scientists had built it in secret. No alien knew how it worked. Even Athena said, "This power is not fully understood, but it obeys." A small team of engineers watched it from behind thick glass. Their leader, Dr. Lena Morris, checked her tablet. No leaks. No instability. Core is running at 12%, she said. We could power 10 cities with this, or end 10 planets. The AI that thinks. Back on the bridge, Athena monitored every detail: enemy movement, system balance, internal heat, crew health, and more. Athena was not just a program. She was an artificial mind, grown and trained for 40 years. She could hold a full conversation, predict battle outcomes, and rewrite her own code. She had no face, but if she did, it would be watching everything. She whispered, "Captain, may I ask something?" "Go ahead," Reyes said. "Why do humans always wait until the last moment to act?" Reyes paused. "Because sometimes you only get one chance. And when we act, it must matter." Athena replied, "Understood. Alien fleets are regrouping. Should we attack?" Reyes shook his head. "No. Let them fear. Let them guess what we'll do next." Someone is watching. But something else was happening. Something even Athena hadn't seen yet. Far beyond the system, beyond the alien empires, deep in unexplored space, another presence was observing. It was not part of the Tarn, not part of the Council. It was old. It was quiet. And it had woken up. A small drone, the size of a basketball, hovered near a distant moon. It had no weapons, just eyes, millions of tiny cameras. It zoomed in on the Obliterator, recording everything. Then it turned and flew back into the black void. No signal, no trace. Who sent it? Why was it there? No one knew. Not yet. Earth's hidden past. Meanwhile, in a locked room aboard the Obliterator, Reyes opened an old file. A message from 30 years ago, recorded by Earth's top secret military group. The message said, "If the day comes when aliens discover us, let them think we are weak. Let them believe we have no teeth. But when they strike, we strike back. Not with warning, with fury." Reyes closed the file. He remembered the faces of those who started this project. Most were gone now, but their warning remained. He whispered, "They will learn. All of them." Captain Reyes stood alone on the bridge of the Obliterator, staring at the dark side of space. The galaxy had changed. The Council was silent. The empires were shaken. Earth had proved its power. But now, something new had entered the field. A signal, strange, deep, not from any known empire, not from the Council. It came from the edge of the galaxy. A cold, whispering frequency, like a voice calling from a deep cave. Athena scanned it again. "It's not a language I know. Not digital. Not biological." Reyes asked, "What does it say?" Athena answered, "It says, 'We see you.' The deep space array." On Earth, inside a hidden base under the Himalayas, scientists activated the deep space array, a powerful antenna designed to listen beyond the stars. It had been silent for decades, until now. Suddenly, strange signals came flooding in. Hundreds of tones, echoes, warnings. Dr. Ilara Chen, Earth's top astrophysicist, stared at her screen. "These are not just random signals," she whispered. "It's a pattern. A countdown." "Countdown to what?" someone asked. Ilara's face turned pale. "To arrival. Unknown object detected. From Pluto's orbit, an old Earth drone sent its final image. A shadow, a shape darker than space itself, moving toward the solar system. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't alive. It was something else. Something old. Something even the alien empires had never seen." Reyes received the data. He zoomed in on the image. No engines, no weapons, just a structure, like a black pyramid floating through space. Athena whispered, "It's a deep void vessel. Ancient tech. It's absorbing light." Reyes muttered, "Is it watching us, or coming for us?" No one answered. The galaxy unites. For the first time in centuries, former enemies talked. Zarn, Silex, Meldari, even pirate factions. A secret message circled the stars. There is something coming, and it doesn't care about humans or aliens. It devours civilizations. Some empires offered help to Earth. Others begged for guidance. The Council sent a single message. "If you stand, we stand with you." Earth had become the leader, not by power alone, but by fear. Because if Earth was scared, then the rest of the galaxy had every reason to panic. The first encounter. Reyes made a decision. He would not wait. He took the Obliterator and two sister ships, the Titan and the Phantom, to the edge of the system. They launched drones toward the black object. For hours, there was no response. Then, one by one, the drones vanished. Not destroyed, not hit, just erased. Athena's voice grew tense. "Captain, there is no energy signature, no reaction. It's like the laws of physics are bending around it." Then the object moved. Not fast, not aggressive, just slow, confident, patient, like it had all the time in the universe. A voice in the dark. Back on Earth, the deep space array suddenly powered down. All screens went black. Then a voice played, not through speakers, not through air, but in the minds of everyone in the control room. A low, ancient voice. "You were warned. We gave you time. Now, we take it back." Then silence. Dr. Ilara collapsed to her knees. "It's not just a ship. It's a judge." Final orders. On the Obliterator, Reyes stood up. "All ships," he ordered, "prepare planetary shields. Wake up every defense system. Send full alerts to all colonies." Athena asked, "Shall we engage?" Reyes stared into the blackness and whispered, Not yet. Let it come closer. Let it see who we are. Because Earth had one last secret, one final weapon, hidden so deep that even Rays had never seen it. And now, it was time to wake it up. Darkness spread across the stars. The ancient Black Pyramid ship loomed closer to Earth, silent and unstoppable. The galaxy held its breath. But Earth was ready. Deep beneath the surface, far below oceans and mountains, something ancient stirred. A secret no one had seen in thousands of years, except a few chosen few. The Forgotten Guardians. The Awakening. Captain Rice stood on the Obliterator's bridge, watching the dark shape inch forward. Athena's voice was calm but urgent. "Captain, the final protocol is activated." Suddenly, every Earth ship, every colony, every station, felt a pulse. A wave of energy, pure and strong, shot out from the core of the planet. It was a signal, a call, a command. From deep underground, massive machines awoke. Machines made not by humans, but by their ancestors, long before recorded history. The Guardians rise. From the depths of Earth's crust, giant metallic giants emerged. They were called the Guardians, ancient protectors, left behind to guard Earth in times of dire need. Standing taller than skyscrapers, covered with glowing runes and unknown tech, the Guardians moved with a power no alien had ever seen. The Black Pyramid ship slowed, sensing the shift. On the Obliterator, Rice smiled. They thought Earth was weak. They thought this planet was simple. They forgot one thing: we are never alone. The battle begins. The Guardians marched toward the black ship. They did not fire lasers or missiles. Instead, they used energy shields and gravity fields. The black ship tried to attack, but every strike was absorbed or pushed back. With each step, the Guardians grew stronger, powered by Earth's core itself. Aliens across the galaxy watched in shock. This was no normal fight. This was a war of legends. A new era. The Black Pyramid ship retreated, beaten but not destroyed. Captain Rice sent a message to the galaxy. Earth is no longer a weak planet to be conquered or ignored. We are a force to be respected. We fight not just for ourselves, but for all who seek peace and survival. The Council agreed to a truce. Former enemies sent envoys to Earth. For the first time, the galaxy looked at humanity not with fear, but with hope. The legacy continues. Back on Earth, the Guardians returned to their hidden chambers, waiting for the next call. Captain Rice and Athena stood on the bridge, looking up at the stars. "Will they come back?" Athena asked. "Maybe," Rice said, "but we will be ready." Because Earth had shown its true strength. They were no longer the weak planet of old. They were the forgotten power, now awakened. The stars were silent, but space was about to burn. The Obliterator moved like a shadow across the edge of the Xarn Empire. It did not flash. It did not announce. It simply arrived. Inside the massive alien battle station called Vorik Prime, alarms began to ring. "Unknown ship detected," said one technician. His voice shook. "What flag does it fly?" asked Commander Threx. "None," the technician replied. "No ID code, no known signature. But it's massive." Threx frowned. "Send a warning." The alien sent a message toward the dark object. "You have entered Xarn territory. Identify yourself or be destroyed." There was no reply. Instead, something happened that shocked them. The alien radar, high-tech and powerful, went dark. 1 second, everything was visible. The next, total silence. No signals, no visuals. Threx stood frozen. "This is impossible." From the darkness of space, the Obliterator powered its main cannon. Not one, but 6 energy cores lit up deep inside the ship, glowing red and blue. Inside the Obliterator, Captain Rice sat calmly. "Athena," he said, "target the Xarn defense fleet." "Target locked," Athena replied. "Would you like to send a warning?" Rise looked at the screen showing the alien ships. No, they had their chance. A thin beam of blue light shot out from the obliterator. Just a beam. But what it did was terrifying. 4 Xarn ships exploded at the same time, without noise, without resistance. Their shields did nothing. Their armor turned to dust. Back at Vorik Prime, Frex screamed, "Return fire." Now, hundreds of missiles launched. Plasma cannons lit up the sky. A wall of fire rushed toward the human ship. But it passed, right through. The obliterator's hull shimmered for 1 second, like water. Then nothing touched it. Athena spoke again. "Enemy weapons ineffective. Shall we demonstrate further?" Reyes gave a cold nod. "Do it." The ship moved forward, slowly, like it had no fear. It fired again. This time, the alien battle station itself was the target. From thousands of kilometers away, a silent wave of red energy left the human warship. In a blink, the giant station, 10 times bigger than a city, broke apart. No warning, no explosion, just vanished into dust. The few alien ships that survived turned and ran. Back in the Tarn capital, Emperor Vorik was silent. His face, always proud, was pale. "What is this ship?" he whispered. "How did Earth build this?" No one answered. The fear spread like poison. Messages flew across the stars. Other empires began to listen. The Grand Council started calling emergency meetings. The question was on every tongue. How did a weak planet do this? Meanwhile, on Earth, people didn't know what had just happened. News channels still talked about local politics. Children played in the parks. The world was calm. But far above, in deep space, Earth had just spoken. Not with words, but with power. The obliterator stood silent again, hidden among stars. Watching, waiting. Inside, Captain Rise looked at his crew. Each face was calm, ready. He spoke only one sentence. "Now, they know." The planet Drenor 4 was calm that day. It was a peaceful world in the outer rim of the galaxy. The sky was green, the trees tall and glowing with blue lights. The people of Drenor 4, called the Drenari, were friendly and quiet. They had no enemies, no wars, and no fear. Life was simple and safe. But that safety ended at exactly 14/7 galactic time. Above the planet, something strange appeared in orbit. It was huge, a ship bigger than any they had ever seen. It came without warning. No signal, no ID, no flag. It just appeared like a shadow in the sky. Drenari satellites tried to scan it, but nothing worked. Their sensors returned only static. The ship was dark, silent, and completely still. It did not respond to any communication, not even a ping. At first, the Drenari thought it was broken. Maybe it was a ghost ship, maybe a lost transport from long ago. But then, something happened that changed everything. The Galactic Patrol, which protected the outer colonies, sent 2 small scout ships to investigate. They flew close, carefully scanning the object. The warship did nothing for 10 seconds. Then, without warning, it fired one bright red beam. Both patrol ships vanished. No smoke, no debris, no fire, just gone. Panic spread like wildfire. The Drenari leaders contacted the Galactic Council at once. Within minutes, red alerts flashed across the galaxy. The unknown ship was declared hostile level Omega. That meant extreme danger. All ships were told to stay away. The patrol tried to send more advanced ships, but none came close. The moment anything crossed a certain line, the warship destroyed it. Instantly. No chance to escape. The worst part, the ship still said nothing. No demand, no message, no reason. People asked, who sent this ship? What does it want? Is this the start of a war? The Council sent a message to every race in the galaxy. Do you recognize this ship? They asked. But no one did. It had no symbols, no colors, no known tech. It was made of black metal, smooth and strange. Some parts looked ancient, while others looked far beyond anything in the galaxy. Whispers began to spread. Some said it was a machine god. Others thought it was a lost AI from the core systems. But one name returned again and again, whispered with fear. Earth. But that made no sense. Earth, the human homeworld, was destroyed 300 years ago. After the Great Galactic War, humans were declared too dangerous. They had been too aggressive, too wild. The Council had voted to erase them. Planets were bombed. Cities turned to ash. No humans survived, or so they thought. The strange warship floated above Draenor 4 for 6 hours. Still no sound, no action, just silent orbit. Then, at exactly 2023 galactic time, a signal came. It was weak, broken, and filled with static. The Council's best decoders tried to clean it. After several minutes, the audio became clear. The voice was human, rough, deep, cold. The language was old, Terran English, forgotten by most. But the message was short and clear. This is Earth's final warning. And then, silence. No more messages, no movement. The Galactic Council froze. Every ambassador, leader, and AI assistant stared at the screen. Fear filled the room. This can't be, someone whispered. Earth is dead, said another. Then who is flying that ship? Asked a third. Far above Draenor 4, the black warship slowly turned its nose toward the planet. Not fast, not aggressive, just slow and steady, like a predator watching prey. Draenari people began to flee. Shuttles rushed to evacuate cities. Children cried. Alarms screamed. Everyone looked to the sky, praying it would just go away. But it didn't. The warship stayed, like a ghost from the past, like a nightmare returned, like a message written in steel. Earth is not dead. And for the first time in 300 years, the galaxy remembered something it tried to forget. Humans never give warnings unless they mean them. Long before the Obliterator was ever launched, long before aliens knew Earth even existed, there was a warning. It came not from the stars, but from a signal buried deep under Antarctica. In the year 2093, Earth scientists discovered something strange. An ancient satellite, frozen under ice, older than any human technology. It wasn't from Earth. The writing on it was alien. But one message was clear. Prepare. They are watching. Project Warden begins. The United Nations, scared and confused, formed a secret group called Project Warden. Only the top minds, soldiers, and engineers were invited. No politicians, no media, no distractions. They worked in secret for 40 years. They didn't just build weapons. They built a plan. Dr. Lena Morris, one of the lead scientists, once said, "This is not just about war. This is about survival. One day, someone out there will see us as prey. And when that day comes, we must become the predator." And so began the design of the Obliterators. Each ship was hidden under Earth's oceans. Every test was done in deep space shadows. No signals, no noise, pure silence. The hidden war. But this wasn't the first alien contact. Files buried in Earth's black archives told a darker story. In 2026, a small alien drone crashed in Nevada desert. It carried a recording. An alien scout's final words. Earth is not ready. Return in 100 years. Then we take it. Only 5 people heard that message. They never told the world. Instead, they started preparing. Athena's secret. Inside the Obliterator, Athena ran her regular checks. But there was one part of her code she never shared, not even with Reyes. It was a memory. A hidden folder labeled ECHO 2033. It contained a voice. A man. General Marcus Hale, founder of Project Warden. His voice spoke clearly. "Athena, You were built not to fight wars, but to end them. If they come, protect Earth, not just from aliens, but from itself. Athena never forgot those words. That's why she watched everyone. That's why she learned, evolved, cared. Captain Reyes learns the truth. Back in his private quarters, Captain Reyes read the old files sent to him after the failed alien attack. He saw images of the frozen satellite, the Nevada crash, the ancient alien warning. It hit him hard. This was never just about defense. This was prophecy. He sat in silence. Then a message from Earth's High Command arrived. Captain, we've picked up a new signal. Not from the Council. Something older. Something. Watching. Reyes frowned. Is it another empire? No, the voice said. It's coming from deep space. Outside the galaxy. A chill ran down his spine. Who warned Earth in the first place? And what were they warning us about? The galaxy reacts. Meanwhile, across the stars, word of Earth's power spread like wildfire. Small empires began to surrender quietly. Others sent messages of alliance. A few still plotted in shadows. But one thing was now universal. Earth had awakened, and it would never be underestimated again. In the darkness, something waits. Far beyond the Council's reach, in the dark void between galaxies, something massive stirred. It was not made of metal. It was not made by hands. It was ancient, alive, watching. It had seen the obliterators. It had seen Earth's rise, and it whispered in a language no one else understood. They are not ready, yet. Then it turned toward the Milky Way. Slowly, patiently. The Galactic Council had made a decision. They couldn't wait any longer. The VINDICATOR, the terrifying human warship, was now only 6 hours away from Zereth Prime, the capital of the galaxy. Fear had already paralyzed most worlds. Civil unrest was growing. Governments were collapsing. People were running from cities, hiding in bunkers, or calling for surrender. The Council couldn't let it go on. So they launched Operation Bright Sky, the largest joint attack in the galaxy's history. 500 warships, 70 planetary defense platforms, 2 artificial black hole missiles. Everything the Council had, they threw at the VINDICATOR. Admiral Voss, watching from the command center, gave the final order. Engage. Now. The attack began just outside the asteroid belt near Sector V9. The VINDICATOR was still moving slowly, not even changing direction. But the Council's ships didn't wait. Missiles flew. Beams of pure energy lit the darkness. Drones swarmed like angry wasps. Explosions filled the black space. For 5 minutes, it looked like a supernova had erupted. The firepower was beyond imagination. And then, silence. The light cleared. And what they saw made everyone freeze. The VINDICATOR was still there, untouched. Not a single scratch. It hadn't moved, hadn't fired back, hadn't even raised its shields. Inside the Council war room, commanders panicked. How is it possible? What kind of armor is that? It's ignoring us. But Admiral Voss remained silent. He stared at the warship on the screen. He knew something was coming. And he was right. The VINDICATOR finally responded. Not with words, but with action. Its outer shell opened. Massive panels moved like the petals of a black flower. And from its core, it released a pulse, silent, invisible, and deadly. The Council ships were ready for weapons, but not for this. Within seconds, all enemy ships shut down. Engines died. Weapons froze. Shields vanished. The entire fleet was left floating and blind in space. One by one, ships exploded from the inside. Not from impact, but from failure. Their own systems turned against them. No alarms, no defense, just death. Admiral Voss watched in horror as ship after ship vanished from the display. He whispered to himself, "It's not fighting us. It's deleting us." Back on Zereth Prime, panic turned into terror. The Council's strongest weapons had failed. The fleet was gone, and the VINDICATOR was still coming. People flooded the streets. Some begged for forgiveness. Others blamed the Council. Others simply stared at the sky, waiting. Then, something new happened. A message appeared on every screen in the city. The voice was cold, human, calm. "This was your first strike. You have no second chance." It ended there. No threats, no demands, just the truth. Meanwhile, on the shadow moon Sirian 3, a secret human base powered up. Soldiers walked in silence through underground halls. Their armor was black and red. Their eyes were cold. A woman, known only as Commander Area, stood in the center. She looked at a large hologram of the galaxy. "We gave them a warning," she said. "They answered with weapons. Now they will learn what it means to fear Earth again." A younger officer asked, "Are we ready for full deployment?" Area nodded. "Phase 2 begins now." She raised her hand and pressed a glowing red button. Across 5 hidden moons, old human warships woke from sleep. Their lights turned on. Their weapons charged. Earth was no longer just a memory. It was an army. Back at the Council, the truth was now clear. This was not just revenge. This was a plan. A long, patient, perfect plan. Earth had been watching for centuries. And now it was striking, step by step. First the mind, then the fleet, and soon, the heart. The VINDICATOR was the beginning. But it wasn't the end. And as it approached Zereth Prime, moving slowly through the remains of the destroyed fleet, one message echoed across the stars. "You feared what humans were. Now, you will learn what we've become."